Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So this morning I got up and I thought, what a great day to bake some bread. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to bring you along with me. Now I've made this bread before, but I made it as with using roasted garlic. This time I'm not doing any of that. I'm not adding any other kinds of seasoning. I just want it to be a white bread. So I'm making a no knead skillet bread. And it's pretty simple bread. It's delicious. And part of the reason why I'm making it is that I'm making some sandwiches this week and it needs hearty bread. And I thought this would be perfect for that recipe. So I'm going to do it. I'm getting excited. All right, let's get going on it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 cups of warm water. The lukewarm water is about 110 is what I'm doing. And then we're going to use 1 package of yeast. We're going to pour this in here. All right, we're going to stir it up. And we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes while it blooms. So I'm going to bring you back in 5 minutes so we can see how it is. Okay, so this is doing great. So we're going to move it over a little bit. And then we're going to grab a bowl and we're going to add in, we're going to put in salt and flour. So we're going to do 4 cups of flour. And we're going to add in 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Now I use the pink salt. All right, and then we're going to mix this up. Pretty simple so far, right? All right. We're going to make a little well, and then we're going to take our yeast and water, and we're going to pour it in. And then we're just going to start mixing. All right, at this point, I'm going to start mixing by hand. All right, this is pretty sticky dough, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more flour. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Okay, so this has all come together pretty good. So I'm just going to cover it with a towel as soon as I get all this off my hands. And I'm going to let it sit here for about 1.5 hours. It's almost like peeling paint off, or not paint, paste off of your fingers. Remember doing that as a kid? I think I might add a little more flour because it's still kind of sticky. Did you ever do that? Cover your hands with glue and then peel it off as a child? God, I used to do that. Ah, yeah, much better. It's not as sticky. All right, yeah, it's much, much better. All right, so we're going to let this sit until it rises, and I'm going to wash my hands. Let me try to get some more of it off. So I'm just going to get a towel. And I'm just going to cover it up, and it's going to sit here for about an hour and a half, and then I'll bring it back. Okay, so this has been sitting for about 2 hours, and look at it. So to test to see if it's really ready, we're going to do a little test on it. So we're going to poke a couple little holes, and we'll see if it's done. Let's see. Yep, it's slowly deflated. All right, so now what we're going to do, let's see. All right, so we're going to take it out of the bowl. Let me take off my ring. All right. See how it's pulling away from the bowl? That's what you want. All right, got it out of the bowl. And now we're going to, so we're just going to kind of mix it up a little bit here. Just to make sure it's not sticking. Now, generally, this is when, if you're going to add any kind of anything else, you're going to do it at this point. So if you're going to add any kind of like garlic or anything else, you want to do it at this point. But since I'm not doing that, I'm leaving it. All right, so we're going to gather it up, and we're going to stick it back into the bowl, and we're going to cover it back up, and it's going to sit for another 2 hours till it rises again. Let me wash my hands. All right, so I'm just going to put the towel back over it, and we're going to let it sit for another 2 hours. And I'll bring it back when it's ready. Okay, so it's been another 2 hours, and the bread has risen very nicely. So now we're going to start heating up the oven. So I'm going to put the skillet, this big huge skillet, in the oven at 450 until the oven heats up. And then we're going to add the bread to the pan. So I shall go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's heating up. The pan is heating up in the oven at 450. I might have said 250. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put some flour on here on parchment paper. And I'm going to put some on my hands. I'm going to kind of spread out a little bit. Then we're going to grab the dough. And all I'm doing is trying to get it out of the pan. Oh, I can't even get this to go. Oh my word. So we're just going to get it, excuse me, we're going to get the bowl or the dough out of the bowl. It just doesn't want to come out. Okay. I'm going to get a little more flour on my hands. Okay, so I just kind of want to get this, I'm going to get flour all over the place. So I just kind of want to get this into a ball. All right, so I've got it in a nice little ball, and I'm just going to put it right here, and we're just going to leave this sitting here until the pan is hot, and then we're going to put the parchment paper and the dough into the pan. So I will bring you back when it's time to do that. Okay, so the oven is heated, and now we're going to scoop this up. And we're going to put it into the heated dish. This is extremely hot at this point, so be careful when you're touching it. All right, I'm going to grab the lid. All right, so we're going to cook this for, we're going to cook this for 45 minutes with the lid on, and then we're going to cook it for an additional 15 minutes after we take the lid off. So I'm going to get this in the oven. Okay, so I got it in the oven. I'll bring you back when the bread is done. I can't wait. It smells delicious. Okay, so the bread is done. I've gotten it out. It smells wonderful. So now I'm going to get it out of here, if I can. You know what, I might not be able to do that. Let me grab a tool of some sort. The parchment paper is just falling apart. Ugh. Okay. Woo! All right. Ooh, that's hot. All right, here's the bread. Smells good. We're going to let it cool before we do anything with it. So it'll sit here for a little bit, cooling off. So I just want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I hope that you're having an amazing day and everything's going great for you. The bread smells wonderful. I'm pretty sure it's going to taste wonderful. So I'm looking forward to being able to cut into it after it cools off and having a bite of it. All right, well, hit that like, hit the subscribe, and hit the share button. And once again, I hope that you're having an amazing day and everything's going great. Try this bread. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.